answer all of your questions, and we're gonna talk about mostly Lilith, but also other entities. And you know, I'm really glad that I have all of you guys here. So, yeah, let's talk about working with spirits in general and how to do that. So, if you want to work with entities, the important hello. So, I see some of you in the chat ask questions. I will be really grateful to answer them. So, if you want to work with entities, the main thing is first learn how to meditate and work on your energy centers. That's the main thing. And learn how to operate your energy system. Learn how to meditate. That's the thing number one. So let me tell you guys how I started working with entities. So when I started, occult YouTube scene was Stu Henry. Hey bro, good to see you. Good to see you, Stu Henry. Do you have any questions? So when I started working with entities, occult scene was really flourishing. All channel of EA Quieting was on. Key of the Serpent was on. A lot of other good occult influencers kind of had their own channels and content. And it was really a good time to be a member of that little occult movement online. And it really had its own soul. People were creative and doing a lot of new stuff. And so Raven Darkstar had a channel known as the Serpent's Key, and she had a forum. And on that forum, I learned the end of Lucifer, Ray Tasa Uberaka Biatika Saikar Lucifer, and I chanted it. Hi LK. So Stu, Henry, and LK, do you have some questions to ask? So they kind of had a forum, and I used chant Inner Light said 71 said, Hearts, can you give me any message about organizing a strong connection with Belial? Yes, I can. So take the sigil of Belial, raise the sacred space, and chant Ha Belial Ha Shadim. Light a green candle and offer it to him, and do it every day for about 3 weeks, and you will have like a stronger connection with him. No, I cannot channel anything. This is just like Q&A. So I am like answering question on my own. I am not channeling anything. This is just Q&A. So any of you guys who watch this, hello, Diamond Doll, nice to see you. Ok, no problems to Henry. Thank you guys. So I am free to answer all of your questions, guys. Also, so for those of you who don't know, on Patreon for tier 3, we published a new channel pathworking for all of you. So if anyone wants to get into it, to get that information and techniques, just subscribe to tier 3. Anyway, hello Diamond Doll, do you have any questions? So, my first ritual was like I just called Lucifer using chant Rei Tasso Baraka Bia Seikar Lucifer over and over again, and then the energy of Lucifer manifested really strongly like a blue electricity, and it really kinda empowered me. It was really ecstatic experience, one of the most blissful experiences I ever had in my life. Not what noticeable negative symptoms will a magical being suffer if he summons dark entities too often? What are the warning signs? So if you do it too often, what can happen is you can feel a lot of heaviness, an anxiety, a lot of overloading energy, and it kind of can mess with your mood a lot. It can mess with your body a lot, with your mental health. Mostly you feel pressured, you feel anxious, and you feel as if somebody is suffocating you all the time at random. Stu Henry asks, as we are in Easter, have you ever connected or worked with Ishtar? Cheers. Yes, I had. She's like a really decent and powerful spirit to work with, a really deep, really strong, really amazing. Uh, I see there's like a 7 you guys. Click the like button so we can like have more people on the stream. Okay, if we get 7 likes in this video for 7 viewers, I will like give you a gift at the end of the stream. Here, where is Danny? Danny is supposed to be in the chat. She's gonna see the stream, so she'll return to the chat. No worries, guys. And me and Danny are preparing a lot of surprises for you. Hi, Dimitri. Hi, Mark 11 Chayan. Hi, Azamon. Hi, everyone. So, just ask questions. Like, there is 9 of you, 8 of you, and like, nobody is asking questions. I would really like to answer them. Back to my working with Ishtar. So Ishtar is a really powerful spirit, really fiery spirit. What you can tell about Agrat. So Agrat is one of the 4 queens of hell. She is really good for beginners. She is really good for people who want to develop astral senses. She is attributed to Mercury and Venus and Moon. She is also really good for baneful magic and healing. She is really good if you want to know some information. His energy. Is it dangerous to believe in jinn and demons? You probably said to believe to jinn and demons, uh, depending. Uh, in my experience, high-ranking spirits are trustworthy, while low-ranking spirits can be delusional or deceiving. So I will just make sure that I am in contact with high-ranking entity, and then you can trust them, no problem. So yeah, so who's gonna ask the next question, guys? So that's really cool, guys. So what do you want me to talk about? Like what topic? This stream is for you, people. Which is the best night to summon Lilith? Sunday and Friday. It depends on the purpose, honestly. Like for baneful magic and spiritual insight, Saturday is the best. For sexual operations, Monday is the best. And if you want money, Thursday is the best. What can you tell about Lucifer and healing? Lucifer can do almost anything, including healing. However, for really demanding spiritual operations, what you should do is you should really make sure that whatever you promise to Lucifer is fulfilled, because he will demand you to pay him back in high order. Okay, who are the lower ranking demons? So the lower ranking demons are essentially like astral parasites, spirits who attach to people and leech on them. If you wanted to direct someone to the correct spirit to help stopping bad habits or to upgrade the way you think, which spirit would you recommend? Specifically for bad habits and addictions, I would recommend Belial. What spirit most commonly refers to themselves as the devil in your opinion and experience? Iblis. Which would be the best entity to help protect myself and family? From my experience, Kali is the best for protection by far. Duedondin asks, when a spirit wants to work with you, how they may try to connect with you by your experience? For beginners, it's usually synchronicities, dreams, flashes of sigils or animals associated with them, and energies randomly visiting. So those are some of the basic signs. And yeah. Can you and Danny do a working with Papa Legba? We already did, and Danny has a really deep knowledge of those entities. The problem is she doesn't want to piece voodoo community because she is white, and so she doesn't want to go into that racial beef. Um, that's the reason. But she works with that spirit and has a really deep relationship with Papa Legba, and she is really talented in channeling that spirit. Thanks a lot, brother. Thanks a lot for following us too, Henry. I really appreciate your support. Um, oh, stupid. It's not kind of stupid. She just doesn't want to risk. She doesn't want to risk being attacked by predatory individuals. Is it true that once you merge with spirit, you cannot go back? In a sense, yes, but there are ways of stopping the merging. So you can never go back to what you were before the merging completely, but indeed you can stop the merging so it doesn't progress even more. No, I mean to attacker. Okay, I get you, inner light. Relax. This is just like a chill stream. So, Danny, do you have some questions? Some suggestions for the stream? Like, I know you are in the chat. Have you ever worked with Saraswati? What is the best spirit to work with for enhancing mental strength? I worked with Matangi. Matangi is a dark tantric form of Saraswati. Uh, and like it's a really deep form of dark goddess. Dude, why are you answering questions about me to me? Okay, if I, like, because you didn't answer it in the chat, I apologize. So you can like answer that in the chat and correct me. Do you recommend the so-called demon companions? Yes, I do. It's like really beneficial as long as you essentially know what you are doing and you have a relationship already developed with the spirit who is commanding those companions. Stop by not continuing to merge with the spirit anymore. No, there is a specific procedure. So you need to call spirit you merged yourself with, and you need to essentially like kind of tell him you don't want to merge, and you have to give offering of gratitude. So Lilith gave me visions of a woman, dark hair, wearing a dark violet dress. Any idea who can it be? It's a form of Lilith as well. Is Hecate most powerful? All deities are equally powerful. Like, all deities are uh, equally powerful. I don't believe that it's like dick measuring contest. Is it possible to set up a constant sacred satanic space around your aura instead of cleansing or working within a triangle each time? Yes, it is theoretically possible. It is theoretically possible, but it needs a lot of daily workings and workings with spirits in a deep way on a daily basis to obtain that. I give offerings to Lucifer and Clownak daily. Is it okay to give offerings to other demons? Or would it be a form of disrespect? No, it wouldn't be a form of disrespect. Do you read tarot cards? No, I mostly channel spirits. I am not expert in tarot, but I can definitely channel the answer for people, whatever type of answer they need. Is Hecate number one spirit? All spirits are aspects of source and source is number one. Okay. Do you know what demon or god have a deer animal associated with? Artemis, Diana, Selene, and forest gods of Europe. Okay. How do I open my astral senses without giving blood? Just work on your third eye and the seven chakras and learn to meditate and learn to raise the sacred vase. Can you break a succubus marriage and how? You invoke Samael and Lilith and you banish the succubus until it leaves. How much blood is a sufficient offering to Agorat Batmalat for psychic abilities? Really small, just a little drop of blood, but you do it every day to open abilities. What are the offices of Hecate? What magical operations would you call upon her? So Hecate is a really broad deity. She can be used for a lot of things, but I personally use her to work with the dead. Okay, so if we hit 20 likes in this video, I will do a channeling message at the end. So click the like button, guys, and you are free to ask more questions in the chat. Can I work with spirits from different pantheons in the same time? Yes, you can, as long as energies are compatible. It's more advisable to work with like two water gods from the same pantheon than with water and the fire god from the same pantheon in the same ritual. So what matters is not are energies compatible. What matters is essentially the energies, not the pantheons, okay? You know, the pantheons doesn't necessarily matter. What matters is dual energies and compatibility. Like working with two forest spirits from two different pantheons is easy, right? But working with two spirits from the same pantheon who are not energetically compatible is not necessarily like an easy thing. So yeah, like ask more questions in the chat, guys. I will gladly answer them. So, what's the easy way to open a sigil? Base Super Legend asked. You know, you're just going to meditative trance, you spin your chakras for a while, and then you politely and slowly gaze into the sigil. So yeah, that's it. That's it. So, before you contact and channel a spirit, instead of you selecting the entity, is it possible to find out if a certain spirit wants to work with you? Yes, it is possible. People use pendulums, people use tarot cards, but what I usually do is I like ask the spirit to give me a sign if he wants to work. They will make sure that you receive a sign, and if there is no signs in the next few days, then spirit definitely doesn't want to work with you. What's the best way for connecting to earth energy? So, working with earth energy is done really well through offering food and drink to trees and tree spirits, walking barefoot, and sacrificing to the Fae. Those are three most effective ways of connecting to earth, in my opinion. You deserve a lot more subscribers, Dimitri. Your information is very valuable and very straightforward. Yeah, thank you. I'm on message. Do it on the. Is it true that demon has emotion or those who they work with? Not necessarily emotion, in my experience. They have more like a sense of obligation than emotion. Yeah. Danny is back. So, Danny, I sincerely apologize for doing something you didn't like, whatever that was, you know? Can you speak about your experience with Melek Tau? So, Melek Tau is like a classical angelic being. Uh, he's an angel, basically. The entire satanic hype around him is, I think, a mistranslation of what Yazidis were trying to say. The guy is an angel. Have you worked with Aisha Zenuin? What does she normally help the practitioner with? So she helps the practitioner with Eternian mysteries, sexual alchemy, and spiritual transformation. That's really cool. Yeah, she's really cool spirit. Mark 11 Chair says, I use my old iPad to open a portal. That can work. You can use old iPad as a mirror to open a portal. Can you do a step by step to evoke a spirit? Here, right now. So essentially, I already have that covered in my other videos. Go to evocation tutorials playlist and watch some of the videos there. Uh, okay. Are you certain signs used regularly by a spirit? And from that particular sign, is that how you can recognize which spirit is signaling you? Okay, this is a really broad topic for the stream. You need to tell me the exact signs you are seeing, Stu Henry, in order for me to be able to answer the question. Okay. Um, okay. Let me see. Let me answer the question. What are the best non-demonic entities to work with for lust and why? The best entities are the four queens of hell: Agrat, Nama, Aishat, and Lilith. Those four entities. Um, so, okay, why obligation? Isn't it their own interest to work with us for their agenda? Yes, it is in their own interest technically, but fundamentally, once you make a pact with them, they are obligated to fulfill it. And so it's like that feeling of obligation which drives our relationship with spirits, not necessarily some kind of love. It's like a pact, it's like an agreement, it's like a legally binding contract. Okay. And does succubus have emotions for the one they have to marry? Sometimes it happens for the spirit to have emotions. Yeah, with case of succubi, jinn, and incubi, it happens. But with higher ranking entities, it kinda happens really rarely. I consider majority of people who claim some extreme relationship with spirits to be a little bit delusional, and my intuition never showed wrong. A spirit referring to himself as the devil is here giving me some advice. Can you help me identify the said spirit? When I asked him, he just said the devil, and he showed me man being seduced by a woman. He is here now. So I think it's an aspect of Satan we channeled before, Danny, honestly. Thank you for your help, Dimitri. You are awesome and explain things in great detail in a way newbies like myself can understand. Thank you, Jordan. Uh, Thank you for everything. Is there is there any way to use substances like THC and psychedelics for spiritual practices, or should they be avoided unless you really have experience with meditation and spiritual practices and you know how to go into trance yourself and navigate the trance? You shouldn't use the psychedelics because it can damage your brain and give you parasites attached. Eldoria is here in the chat. She will probably disagree with me. She loves psychedelics, but here is just my opinion. When you are being merging, how long does it usually last? From 20 minutes to an hour for people who are just starting. Later on, it's shorter, but for beginners, it's like 20 minutes to an hour. Hey guys, hey Eldoria. Glad to have you here. I was asking you, you said that spirits give you signs to let you know they want to connect. Does each spirit give their own signal? Yes. Yes, that's true. Which spirits are always with me and why? So, if you want the exact answer, it would require channeling, but I can say what spirits are generally around the people, who practice magic. So, generally, it's your ancestors, elemental spirits your ancestors worked with, local spirits of the land and the deities you had relationship with through your ancestral line or past lives, depending on what you believe in. But all of us have deities around us which are technically here from birth, and also deities we attracted through our actions in life. Um, what do I do if I gaze at the mirror? Okay, so the guy is answering the question asked to him. Thank you, Mark. Were you once part of an occult order? Do you think joining an order is a good or bad idea? I was never part of an occult order. If you want to join an occult order, that's fine. Just don't allow people to take advantage of you. I am not necessarily against joining the occult groups. Just be careful because there's a lot of crackheads, wannabe gurus here in this community, just like trying to sexually and emotionally exploit people. Okay. Any books you recommend? So there are like possibly three books I can recommend. So the first book is Grimoire of Pope Honorius. I really love the book. It gives really some powerful stuff. Grimoire of Dreadful Wombs by V.K. Jehanum. Also, a really powerful stuff. A Black Magic of Ahriman by Curtis Joseph. Really powerful stuff. And Berhatia Magical Conjuration of Power by Nineveh Shadrach. Also, a really powerful stuff. Is H genuine another aspect of Lilith because she feels like a completely different energy? All four of them are aspects of the same dark power. In past I saw them as separate, now I see them as kind of related to each other. I kind of see all of them as a part of one hive mind, but they are kind of separate from a practical point of view. Dimitri, I meant nor demonic for last work. I am a little afraid to work with demons. I kinda told you you have ancestors around you and elemental spirits of the land. You don't have to work with demons, Adam. Germanic Spaniard says, have you ever come across spirits with devices we could consider high tech? Yeah, yeah. I had some genic spirits approach me with devices which I could consider high tech, almost like they had their own technology. Any books you recommend for beginners? Grimoire of Dreadful Wombs by BK. That's really for beginners. Diane Wilson. Greetings and salutations. Greetings and salutations, Diana. If you do magic regularly, do random spirits approach you? Yes, it kind of happens. I'm on message. Uh, Danny, do you have like some suggestions for conversation? Oh, hi, Zena Slay Y2K. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm really grateful to have all of you here. And like just ask questions in the chat. Don't be ashamed. It can even be a funny question, something fun. So, it's like really interesting how spirits kind of sometimes pull pranks on people, especially Belial. What are the list of things that the fairy queen can work for or with? Um, so fairy queens are usually used for healing, money, and psychic abilities, but they are most useful for prophecy and connection with nature. Earth angel. What do you mean when you say Earth Angel, Diana Wilson? LK asks, what are the most powerful abilities that a magician can gain from working with spirits? Uh, Mostly enlightenment and spiritual understanding of the world or the universe. Uh, that's cool. Uh, so let me, okay. I love your accent. Where are you from? I am from Montenegro. It's a small country from ex-Yugoslavia. I like that thumbnail. Add that to your profile image on YouTube. Thank you, Danny actually made the thumbnail. So for healing and grounding. So Danny is commenting on answer to the Fae. Every night in the hallway when I was 13, I would stare at my own painting I did. One time I saw a demonic face of myself and I freaked out. I stopped having nightmares 2 years ago and I just. Okay, the message is incomplete. Do you have a lifelong pact with Lilith? Yes. Danny, why we can't see you in the chat with Dimitri? It is more fun. Because, I will let you, Danny, answer that question. She has some of her own stuff going on right now, so she can be in the chat. Embrace darkness. Yeah, I kinda did. Yeah, it's really cool that you saw yourself that way. If you call a spirit with an N and use their sigil, can an imposter spirit enter you? Probably a dumb question, but I have wondered about this. If you want to guarantee that no imposters will enter, simply raise the sacred space first. Uh, Fae are excellent for healing, grounding prophecy, and raising sacred space. Yeah, they are. The Nightmare 781 oil painting by Henry Rosselli. Can you name the owl spirit and the horse spirit in the mirror? Uh, I am not familiar with that painting, so you have to show the painting to me if you want me to like name the stuff from it. I mean, chat stream same video as you. I mean, we will have those videos really, really soon. Uh, but I will let Danny answer that. Danny Doom, have you worked with the fake queens before? Okay, I will let Danny answer that question because I don't want like to answer questions intended for Danny. So, what is the most serious case someone has approached you with, Dimitri? Um, yeah, there are like, okay, so those kind of cases demand my full attention when people like have problems with spirit attachments. Unfortunately, currently I don't have time to deal with those cases, but the hardest case was Australian guy, and I worked on the case for about month and a half, 2 months, and I helped the guy at the end. So those are the cases where people have spirits attachments. The Legion of Lilith, how is your health? I remember you having a lot of physical pain and some sort of problem that caused you a lot of physical pain since you were born. How is that going for you? I am kicking. I am kicking. There are always problems in life, but I am kicking. I am good. For your own experience and your own opinion, do you think sex magic? It is funny. People kind of turned it into a gimmick. People turned it into a gimmick. Honestly, it is really useful, but it is really dangerous form of magic, and I personally use it very rarely nowadays because it kind of influences health negatively if it's done too much. Okay. Okay, Danny, get rest. Please rest, Danny. Okay, I'm just reading chat. I understand that there are two versions of OLED, the younger and the older. Do you work with both? So when people say younger Lilith, they usually refer to Nama. I work only with Lilith. I call Nama only rarely. I remember in my childhood home, me and my sister were sleeping in my room, and I remember hearing the faint raspy whisper, "Take two, two," and it wasn't my sister. They were asleep. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so, okay, okay, yeah, yeah, me and Danny worked with the Fae a lot. So, yeah, I would be glad to answer all of your questions in the chat, but I gonna have an anecdote. So there is a Fae named Brucelind, and that Fae named Brucelind is like a really famous Fae in Bretagne, and I planned to call her today, and then she like appeared to me, and I felt like a crazy infatuation with the spirit I never felt before. Okay. Do you know the best magical way to get 2020 vision. What do you mean by 2020 vision? I don't necessarily understand the question. Assalamu alaikum, my brothers. Thank you, Gisela Puente, for joining us tonight. So, let's like keep. Okay, so, just like more questions in the chat. Danny, are you still in the chat? Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the Fae in general. Okay, so honestly, if you have problems with your side, Josa de la Puerte, just essentially go to the doctor. But if you wanna have like full vision out of body, I would suggest mastering astral projection. Okay, Danny, I know this might sound unconventional since we don't know each other, but would you mind if I can message you about this on chat? About what essentially? What do the Goetic demons think about the Fae, dragons, and other spirits and entities? Um, they kind of all they have their own offices. Like they don't interact necessarily with each other. What do Goetic demons think? When I was a kid, I used to have a lot of dreams falling down the stairs. That's like pretty common. That's a pretty common dream, and it represents initiation into deeper aspects of yourself. Am I on Discord? Not necessarily. I don't use Discord often. I have Renit, can't heal at all. I don't know what Renit is. What kind of illness is that? Wa assalamu alaikum. I am on WhatsApp. Okay. So guys, ask questions in the chat. Uh, I am repeating mantra and gazing to the yantra of Saraswati, the right way to connect with her energy. Yes, it's one of the ways. Do you know any spirits alike this one? A giant talking white snake? Yes, I know. One of the Japanese spirits essentially uh, represented to me, presented to me that way. Yamato no Orochi is the name of the spirit. Do you know? Okay, so I suppose, Adam, that you actually, so yeah. Is there any way you can suggest to uh, DM and get Instagram model who has never met you? No, that's like stupid. It's not stupid, but don't bother yourself with that. Like, there are definitely ways you can use your magic more effectively than that. I don't necessarily believe that will work. Like casting a love spell on Instagram model to DM you who doesn't even know you. Like, do you even know how many people those Instagram models have approaching them who are like ridiculous? Don't bother yourself with that. Work on yourself, improve yourself. Do money magic, wealth magic, open psychic abilities, Don't bother yourself with that. Thank you for consideration. I will contact you within a week. Uh, Dambala from Voodoo is the giant white snake, but he doesn't really talk. Why do I choose black magic specifically? Because it suits me. That's why. What does your family think about you practicing magic? They think it's a useful, illegal skill. That's what they think. I have been told that angels cannot be used to work with your sexuality. Is that true? Depends on what kind of angel you are talking about. Um, so Samael can work with sexuality, but other angels not so much. So, yeah, regarding angels, it's kind of slippery slope. Like, what is an angel? If you go through extra biblical canon, like angels are fucked up. Angels are weird. Um, when merging with an entity, sometimes I feel it's pumping me to the point my body starts rocking back and forth. Is this normal? Yes, it is completely normal. Lust is one of the primary spheres of Samael. Yeah, it is. Good point, Danny. Well said. So, what is like the topic you want me to talk about? Like, okay, let's vote on can a human before their incarnation in the human vessel be a demon or angelic being, but he is imprisoned here? I don't believe it's logical. Can we WhatsApp you for personal inquiries? Yes, you can WhatsApp me for personal inquiries. Uh, I just don't do necessarily a lot of free work, but you can WhatsApp me. Like my WhatsApp is publicly available. I answered that question. My answer to that question, can a human before incarnation be an angel or a demon, is no. A human is a human. And I think what is my, this entire we are stars blah blah blah. I think it's all bullshit. I think it's all essentially there to make people believe nonsense. There is no anything like star seeds. What is your opinion about archons, Dimitri? So, like, it's uh, it's a really nihilistic view of the world. There is no such thing as archons. They are like destructive spirits and deities, but they are not evil. Like archons is literally edgy way to say demons slash evil spirits. I don't think it exists. Okay. LYS asked, in my dream, the priest told me that I have an entity attached to me and told me that I should banish him and gave me its name. Should I take this dream seriously? Um, I kind of have to. It's a really personal question. Like, my advice is to like WhatsApp me and tell me the entire dream. Like, this is a really serious question and I cannot answer it just on the stream. What is your opinion on incarnated gods? Define me what you mean by incarnated gods. What are the benefits of merging with a spirit? You essentially obtain and gain certain abilities and capabilities of that spirit. Okay. Uh, okay, but why exactly angels do not deal with matters of sexuality? Because angels are not necessarily close to Earth. Their concerns are not earthly, they have their own thing. Except Samael, a god that wants to incarnate in a human body. Um, yes, that's completely possible and real. Gods can go into human bodies and become avatars of divine. That's possible. Was Hindu god Krishna real? There is definitely power behind Krishna's name, and there is Krishna as an entity, so he exists. What's better to focus on jinns or demons? Somehow I feel them calling me, and I'm always thinking on them and Iblis. I mean, if you are really into that stuff, Dino, then do it. Relax and do it. Just be careful. What are your thoughts about the Anunnaki or the Watchers? Do they exist and are they alien visitors that were worshipped as ancient gods? Any experience with them? I think this entire story about Watchers being aliens is BS, and they are like spirits, and even if they came in some form of physical bodies, I don't believe that they are just aliens people mistook as deities. I think they are spirits who possibly and occasionally took physical forms, but definitely I have experience with them as spirits. Hi, JD. Glad to have you here. Uh, what spirit do you recommend to work for more sexual encounters? Lila. Definitely Lila. Thank you, JD. Hello. Does succubi in their marriage can be jealous on you? Occasionally, yes. So how do you believe in apotheosis but not individual being a deific being before incarnation? I don't believe in a concept of apotheosis as said by Ford. It's not my cup of tea. Uh, I believe left hand path is simply a way to merge with absolute and understand the absolute. I think the entire apotheosis thing is not my cup of tea. I think it's a big misunderstanding of Eastern teaching, of Eastern spirituality. Um, do you believe in time travel? Um, I don't necessarily know what you mean. Uh, like, time isn't linear, so hypothetically you can time travel, but I don't necessarily um, think that we have technology to do that. What's happening, JD? Yeah, we are kind of great, JD. Thank you for asking. We are really great, and we are really uh, kicking ass. We are cool. How are you? So, okay. Can you guys ask more questions in the chat? I would be really glad to answer it. And by the way, Marluxia escaped. I respect Michael W. Ford's work a lot. I think he's an amazing magician. I just don't agree with his philosophical approaches. What are pagan gods exactly? In my experience, they are aspects of the absolute and nature spirits usually. Those two things. So yeah, guys, just keep asking questions. I have really great pleasure answering them. Danny, do you have some cool stories to tell? What is the difference between fallen angels and demons? I was told there is a minor one. So there is actually a lot of difference. Demons and angels, in my experience, are completely separate beings. They are completely separate type of being. And what would fit into the category of the fallen angels would be the Watchers, actually. And the Watchers are described in a Book of Enoch story, if you want to know more about that. Actually, Michael W. Ford wrote a really good book on the Watchers. Do you think Iblis is older than Lucifer and Satan? Uh, so this is a difficult question, but the short answer is no. If you go to the graveyard for a ritual, how to not upset the graveyard guardians? Give them offering. That's how. Usually alcohol and meat. What do you think about Crowley? Did you perform the Headless One ritual? Yes, I did, and I think Crowley wrote some really good stuff. Can you talk about your experience? Experience was really enlightening and uplifting. Uh, how do you set up an outdoor altar for King Belial? I understand his energy is found in nature. If you can go to nature, essentially my advice is simply summon him in nature and relax. Raise the sacred space and call him with a chant and sigil. If you are in a relationship currently working with Lilith, will she be jealous? No, that's bullshit. It never happened to me. Actually, Lilith empowered and supported my current partner. I want to learn more about Satan. So, what spirit under the title of Satan are you referring to, Danny? Do you have a video to make a ritual with Shiva? So, yeah, I have a video in which I give a yantra to connect to tantric form of Shiva. Yes, I do, Dino. I'm gonna send it to you later on. Yeah, Lilith is Team Danny. Kinda, yeah. Okay, great. Thanks, bro. So, for some of you who are in the chat, just share this stream on Facebook so it gets to more people. I believe the spirits insert the idea of alien by making us see them as gray, like body cool alien. That's interesting hypothesis. I honestly don't know. So regarding this entire a similar question, if you have a pact with Lilith, do you need to ask her permission to summon other spirits? If the spirits are opposed to her and clash with her, yes, you kind of have to worry about that. So, regarding this entire alien thing, I generally suspect that there are aliens out there, but I don't have any direct experience necessarily. Is it right that Satan has a female aspect? Satania? Is this correct? So all of the spirits have like male and female aspects, including Satan. So yeah, there is such a thing as a female aspect of Satan. Actually, that could be a good video. Is it true that Edward Kelly used magic to defeat the Spanish Armada and sink them? That's like an urban legend. You cannot prove that, but definitely John Dee and Edward Kelly were highly respected by the Queen of England at the time, so they definitely knew how to do magic for sure. And that entire Victorian era magic history is really interesting. I will definitely study Enochian magic more. It's a really powerful system. I use some of the Enochian chants and they kick ass. And the entire Enochian system kinda works with water angels, some of them fallen, some of them not, and it's really a cool, deep system of magic. So I'm gonna address some other questions. I'm gonna scroll and I'm gonna elaborate on some other things people asked. Uh, Howdy buddy, how it's going? I don't know if this question applies, but I'm gonna shoot with it anyway. Do you know any spirits, celestial or infernal, which can help with my love issues? Lilith, indeed, Lilith can help, Ishtar can help, Inanna can help, Aphrodite can help, Nama can help. All the spirits I want to talk about don't want to be talked about. Um, okay, Danny, we're gonna talk about it later. What is happening when I do quantum meditations? I feel every inch of my teeth hurting, vibrating, and like melting. It's like scary. Yeah, it happens when you do those really cool meditations. Do you currently work for anyone or job or corporation? No. I work on this channel and this is my job pretty much. This channel and everything around it. I'm fully dedicated to that. Um, yeah. Uh, Same experience, hahaha. Whenever I want to know something, it's quiet. Yeah. What tells or gives away a witch? The real witch cannot be recognized. If you can recognize somebody as a witch, they are not probably legit. One of the few ways spirit will teach you is how to conceal yourself for all of the people who are not supposed to know that you are a witch. I always thought Lilith wanted carnal stuff, but she can help with romantic love. Yes, she can. She can. If that's the case, I will return to my dark mother. Love her deeply, by the way. Yeah, I am glad you have a deep relationship with Lilith. In general, it's a really huge misconception that Lilith is only into carnal stuff. Can we summon each other if I die? You summon me, for example? Yeah, that's possible, but I wouldn't like to summon you, Dino. I wouldn't like you to die before me, motherfucker. So, yeah, guys, it's pretty much it. This was like pretty eventful stream. A lot of questions. a lot of chatting. Thank you all, guys. Talk to you soon. Goodbye.